And I'm Allan Gorman. I'm an artist. This painting here dates back from when I was trying to be a painter. I had done a bunch of came from advertising, so I was looking for what to paint. And back then I was painting like big rig trucks, like 18-wheeler, you know, the machismo. And I needed some other stuff, so I started to do smaller paintings that are like watch mechanisms, and that led to doing motorcycle engines. And I did a bunch of these, and these kind of, some of them have been acquired by museums and traveled, traveling shows. And then I started doing, trying to taking pictures of buildings and finding abstract shapes within the infrastructure of architecture. So it's been a journey. These pictures on the wall here are prints done from paintings that I've done. A lot of them are
very new.
Sold. A lot of these were done during COVID, especially these lonely street scenes like this. So more recently, I'll take inspiration from whatever I explained. This came from attending a play and seeing someone in a costume, in a ripped up cloth costume, and it kind of inspired me to do this. This one I saw a painting done in the 60s. It was very dark painting, but somebody put little googly eyes in the paint, and so I kind of had an idea that said, the critics said I needed to get more eyeballs on my work, so I put a bunch of eyeballs on my work. Are you hearing me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So, the one that I had you turn around here, I'll sometimes take photographs and I'll make a print and I'll play around with it and crop it to a point where it becomes an interesting composition. It means nothing. Doesn't matter what it is. And so I'm doing this based on this. It's not exactly that. I'm not trying to copy. And right now, I'm kind of in a lull, so I'm just playing around. So often I'll sketch, kind of looking for ideas, and this just kind of was interesting. It pays lip service to these kind of paintings here. So I figured, well, I'll do another one. In the meantime, is it a big idea? I don't know. But, so this panel I'm getting ready to paint on, and it's kind of very formal. So this will be very dark, and this will get a little lighter, and this might be another material. And for some reason I have a fascination with these shapes, kind of like a doorway, and a reflection of the doorway. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, and here's some other little doodles that I do. So
Cool.
Kind of how I
Very simplistic sketches.
come up with the little sketches. And
what is the reason for like some of the patterns you utilize?
My influences were during the late 60s and early 70s in New York City. And I was attracted to drama. It was a time of upheaval and change, like now, I guess, hopefully. But it was a break from everything else. I was a street kid, and I liked the big city lights and the danger and the drama. And I guess that creeps into my work. now. So everything I do is kind of has a little dramatic flair, and I look for those hidden intersections that are interesting, where the shadow and light play, and things that most people would go unnoticed. And the paintings turn into abstract compositions. So,
Some of your works are like very abstract, so they're just like very geometric shapes and lines.
Yeah, yeah,
like a
yeah.
very flat
yeah,
surface.
yeah. That's
And
the
others
way
are
my mind works.
others are much more like realistic, and everything is rendered very softly, and the light is very saturated.
Yeah, I learned to paint realistically. I learned to paint from photographs, and I did that for many, many years. Um, and I got known for that. But I didn't want to be defined by that. And a couple of years ago, so I would look for subject matter that was unusual, like this painting behind me. It would be, the underbelly of the beast. This is underside of the bridge. And I would define them as abstract paintings in the guise of realism. They really didn't have a whole lot to do with, I didn't really have an attachment to the subject matter necessarily. It wasn't, so I was attracted to the mysterious angles and the colors and the plays of shadow and light and that kind of stuff. I went and I saw a sculpture that was made of glass. And all the layers of glass would kind of obfuscate or blur out the background and turn the background into an abstract composition. So I said, let me paint some paintings based on that. While I was doing it, something switched in my brain and said, you know what? I don't need photographs to do this. I could just make it up. So that's what I've been doing now, and I've been having a whole lot more fun. So now the paintings are inspired by something I might see, something I might think, or a doodle or a sketch. And I would say they're more genuine to me than what I was doing before, because this other people could do. That nobody else could do.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of influences of a lot of modern artists in your work.
Yeah, back in when I was formative years, as I said, it was jazz improvisation and modern art and modern cinema and all that kind of stuff creeped in.
Would you say someone like Rothko or Pollock influenced you?
Yeah, but I wasn't cognizant of Rothko and Pollock. Well, Pollock, sure.
Those kind of look.
Yeah. Basically, what it is I'm kind of seeing what I can push and where I can go. I'm not locked into any one thing. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's why does it have to be paint? Let me explore the surface. Why does it have to be flat? Why does it have to be a painting at all? So, I find now, I feel like I'm making real art. Before I was making pictures.
There's a lot of like emptiness and negative space in a lot of your works.
I had a loneliness in the work, even the early work. There
Loneliness?
was kind of a loneliness, a quiet observation. There mostly, when I started, I worked from photographs of my family and other people's families and people, but now they're devoid of that information. It's more about the pure composition and the design creeps through. So yeah, so they're not busy at all.
Do you ever see this emptiness in relation with someone like Edward
Hopper, you mean?
Edward Hopper, yeah.
I've been compared Um, I'm me. I'm not trying to be Edward Hopper.
I know,
I'm
I
not
know.
trying to be Rothko. I'm not trying to be Pollock. I'm not trying to be anybody else. It's just me. You know, and I have a dialogue with the work. So when I'm working on something, I start out with an idea, and then, like every good artist, you question what does it need, and a lot of artists might tell you we're engaged in a process of fixing mistakes. We make mistakes all the time. They would say, okay, how do I fix it? Yeah. So, and that's the joy of making art, is really the making. So that's fun.
What's the reason for like the mixed media, like adding the 3D texture to some of your stuff?
So one of the paintings over there has wallpaper on it. Another one's vinyl floor tiles. That painting is a joke called The Critic Said I Need to Get More Eyeballs on My Work. So I put a bunch of eyeballs on my work. So those are doll eyes. And that was inspired by seeing a painting by an artist, I forget her name, that was done in the 60s. And her work was very dark, but it had little googly eyes
Yeah,
embedded
I've
in
seen
the
a lot
paint.
of artists do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's my take on it. I'm trying to be her. So it just, I saw it and I went, oh, give me an idea. So, and I'm, it's using a foil, foil, stick down foil, because I tried gold leaf and I didn't like using it. So.
So my opinion is that you have a very like diverse style. Like you have many things that's going on in your work, and unlike some people who like paint just in one particular
They
style.
keep doing the same painting over and over again. They keep doing the same thing. I don't know, that kind of mechanical to me in it. And I may be commercially viable because they get known for that. But okay. Does a rock and roll singer want to keep singing the same song?
Well,
All
I
the
mean, they
time?
always
The public
say
might want it, but they don't want to do that. It gets boring. So I'm much to the tune of my own drummer, and I make my own rules, and I'm not trying to. Well, hopefully, I'm not making work for other people. I'm just first you got to please yourself. You got to do yourself.
so. Saying that something of a style is repetitive, how would you see someone like Jeff Koons?
Jeff Koons,
Yeah,
commercial.
pure commercial, no artistic.
No, he has no attachment to the work. He's making commercial product because you'll pay for it. So basically, Jeff Koons is all about celebrity, and I kind of feel, when I look at his work, I feel ripped off.
I spoke to another artist here who think Jeff Koons was one of the most innovative and forward-thinking artists in the century.
Okay, they're entitled to their opinion. I think he's a prick. I went, years ago, I went to a show, a retrospective of an artist you probably haven't heard of, a German artist, who used cardboard and bubble wrap and sewed them together and all sorts of materials, and it was everything. And it was so exciting and so courageous. Jeff Koons comes up, well, when he started, he was kind of bold
Yeah.
with photography.
I mean, just starting the balloon thing, it's also bold.
No, that wasn't originally. Originally, he did photographs of him and his wife in orgies.
Really?
Yeah, because it was shock value. But he's a very smart man. He came from a money world, and he basically made a name for himself in the money world, and became collectible, and then did a big giant balloon dog or whatever, balloon animals. And if you go look at them, They're flawlessly made. They're spotless. They don't have any fingerprints on them. They're immaculate. And they're cold. There's not a whole lot of warmth in his work. So I don't find them appealing. Well, that's me.
How do you keep the warmth in your work?
I have a sense of humor, I think. So I'm making jokes. So I started, I was serious. So with the realistic stuff before, I think I was trying to be an artist, trying to be in the club, trying to get in the club. And my paintings would be displayed with other people's paintings. And I felt with realistic paintings, there was always a competition. Maybe imposed by myself, but in the industry. You know, everybody's entering contests and winning a prize and stuff like that. It's bullshit. Because every artist is unique. So as I said, I feel like I'm making art now on my own terms, in my own way. And I'm having fun. So part of the fun is making up the names of the paintings. And the names of the paintings sometimes inspire the work. So a lot of my bigger work, current work, is out of here right now. It's in a show, a couple of shows. The one on the wall with all the ripped cloth, that was inspired by going to a play and seeing somebody dressed up in a costume. And it looks like a car wash, so I call it wipers off, transmission in neutral, no brakes. And and the one in next to it with the red stripe on it, the vertical stripe. I saw a photograph that was at night. There was a red neon, so I called that Roxanne. You don't have to put on the red dress. So, and that's the one with the foil, the Jackson Pollock kind of looking one up there. That's failure to reach a satisfactory agreement. It's just like an argument. I'm having a good time.